because you're afraid of being late for class. Because there are no more classes. At least not in LPC. But of course you never did rush that raisin button or squeeze down that croissant to get to class on time, did you? Because you didn't care unless you were going to Trevor's class. And you certainly didn't if you were in my envy class, wherever you were. And the clock is on time. From here forward, you really are the masters of your own destiny. You decide if learning is more important to you than bacon. And I think we all know which side of that debate Harper is on. You can choose from now on if you want to join Barra on a morning run at Marge Down. You can choose to join Barra on an afternoon run at Marge Down. Equally, you could choose to stay in bed taunting your first years as they leave for their first morning block. Or, and this may be somewhat radical, you could apply yourself to your existing revision schedule, which provides you with a structured and balanced preparation for your exams. Yeah. As the renowned thinker Albert Camus, or as you call him in England, Albert Camus, said, freedom is nothing but a chance to be better. Whatever you choose, the coming months signal some significant change. In roughly 60 hours, you will be deemed to have earned the right to make your own decision about whether you get out of bed or not. In roughly 42 days, you will leave LPC having completed your exams, and you'll be staring into the abyss of the future. By the time 5 months have passed, you'll be starting on the next chapter of your education, whether that is formal or another opportunity that you can pursue. Whatever, wherever, and whoever it's with, you will be experiencing significant change. I feel like I should dance. I'm not going to, but honestly, believe me, you don't want to see that. Change can sometimes be difficult to deal with. Imagine the shocks that are in store for some of you. In the real world, people wear shoes. All the time. I worry for you when on your first hot date to the theatre with your partner from uni, you respond to the standing ovation LPC style. At the restaurant after the theatre, it really is not appropriate to order condensed milk on white sliced bread. And that's where the date analogy ends, because people in the outside world don't understand inappropriate intimacy either. So, whilst these are light-hearted examples, and this is a serious bit, I was struck recently by, when I and I were at the regional conference, by the words of the keynote speaker, who was called Dr. Paula Barrett. She worked with the World Health Organization for many years, advising them on child and youth psychology. And she stated that one of the biggest stresses in life can be a period of significant change, something that you are all about to experience. I know that many of you are already experiencing uncertainty about what your futures will hold. But what she also said was that we are not defined by that period. We don't suddenly become somebody who can't cope to change or somebody who's anxious, and that we evolve and improve and ultimately become more resilient because of periods of change. What you will experience in the coming months, I've been through myself, of course, because I joined LPC this year. I have to say, I nearly didn't turn up in August though, because of the warnings that I was given about moving to LPC. Can you hear me without this? No? Okay, sorry. I had tales of doom and gloom about LPC. The staff, it seemed, could only agree to disagree. Living on campus would mean that my family had all the privacy of a TV reality show. And as for the students, they were super-driven, hypercritical leaders of tomorrow who should be treated with care and suspicion. But then I stopped talking to LPC teachers and sought more objective advice. Because of course reality is different to rumour. Once I'd spent a few days climbing Shark Peak with Quentin and Leila, it was clear the students were probably going to be fun to work with. And I also nearly got to know John Thomas, but only on the 5 meters of flat path outside the hostel, before we resumed chasing Maxim up the hill. And I wouldn't be telling the truth if I said that I was confident that my family would settle down. However, the day that my middle son Joe was helped home by a student after falling off his bike, bleeding, but desperate not to cry, and another student wheeling his bike in behind, I knew that they would be okay. And now I know they are definitely happy because they would willingly eat canteen food just to hang out with the students.
Yes! That's so cute.
In my last job, I knew the ropes pretty well. I knew I would get a coffee at 8:10, I'd be on duty at the top of the stairs by 8:20, by 8:25 I would have told the usual students their shoes were the wrong colour and that their hair was too extreme. Of course, what don't I know about extreme hair? And then school started at 8:30, and about 8:33 Steve and Linda would come up the stairs and drop their kids off. Life was good, and I knew how things worked because I'd made them that way. I'd been there for a long time. And it's the same for you. You now know how to meet deadlines without working as hard as you could. Those of you involved in NACE know how to put on a cultural evening for the chairman of the international board in the space of 4 hours. You know which teacher will be a pushover for canteen party duty, which means it's time to leave. Dr. Barrett was right. Change can be positive, and just because change is coming, it doesn't mean that it's going to be bad. So, let's very quickly try something. What I'd like you to do is to imagine your future. So, close your eyes, everybody. Close your eyes and see yourself in 20 years' time. So close your eyes, everybody's got to close their eyes, I want to see. Okay, stop. I thought this would work. Open your eyes, I thought that would work, but unfortunately it's too multicultural and you can't take people out of their cultural context. When I say close your eyes, Selwyn kept one eye open until he found his wallet. And Arnott had both eyes open, was looking round for a while. Let's try that again. We're all friends in here. You can trust everybody who you're sitting next to. Close your eyes and see yourself at the age of 40.
What if you're past that already?
I'd like to do that, Nick.
It's called imagination, Kalpana. So close your eyes and see yourself at the age of 40, the young age of 40. You've been through college, you've graduated, and you've got the job of your dreams. Visualize everything, your whole situation, your job, your partner, your children, the house. It's a bit like Sims in the mind. Kalpana, if it's over 20, if you are over 20 already, you can imagine whatever you like, as long as it's legal.
I just told Ricardo today that flattery will get him nowhere.
Okay, people still imagining? That's a lot of imagining. Okay, you can open your eyes. So I'm sure that a good number of you saw yourselves smartly dressed, nice car, nice house, living the dream, the rewards of the years of education that you've put in and are about to continue to put in. But I also hope that in front of me there was a significant number of you who saw yourselves using your education to receive rewards in other ways. So much research shows that value and success and happiness, and I'm not saying anything new here, in the long term come not from the size of your wallet, but from the enjoyment that you get from doing what you do each day, which obviously is why your teachers are so happy. It might be making music, it might be planting veggies, it could be using the medical skills that you've worked hard to acquire to help the disadvantaged. Your legal skills can be used to support asylum seekers and to protect the environment. Of course you know all this, and I'm not saying anything new, but putting these plans into place, all very well to sit here now and say, oh, we could do this, I am going to do that, that's what I would like to do. Whether you are doing it in 5 years or 10 years or 15 years really is the true test of the UWC values. Once you're influenced by other people in that real world, then other influences will come into play. When Kai Shai's a distant memory and you keep in touch via Facebook, that is when what you've learned the last 2 years really counts. So really what I'm saying is, if you've started something, this isn't the end, this is the beginning of what comes next. And it's easy to be UWC at UWC, but in 15 years' time, that's when it really matters. So therefore, the exams that you're about to take, and did I say the exam word? Sorry. The exams that you're about to take on a very different complexion. They are not the culmination of the LPCUWC experience. They are simply the next step. They might be quite significant, I'm not belittling them, but they are just the next step on that journey. So spend the next week working hard, and the week after that working even harder, but enjoy the exams. Again. Enjoy the exams. Each one that you take is one less that you have to do, and it's one step closer to that next stage. Has anybody ever heard the sunscreen speech that is attributed to Kurt Vonnegut? Yes? The first time I ever heard that speech was made by a principal of mine who stood up at the graduation ceremony, and he said it almost word for word and claimed it as his own. It's good to see academic honesty extends all the way through institutions. It's a great speech though, and apparently it's not Kurt Vonnegut's at all. Those of you who haven't heard it, it starts with a rather bizarre line, wear sunscreen.
Oh.
You've heard that? Yeah? If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term benefits of sunscreen have been proven by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience. And I will dispense this advice now. And he carries on in his speech with several nuggets of advice for the graduates. Things like, remember the compliments you receive, forget the insults. If you succeed in doing this, tell me how. Do not read beauty magazines, they will only make you feel ugly. Floss. Don't expect anyone else to support you. Maybe you have a trust fund, maybe you'll have a wealthy spouse, but you never know when either one might run out. But the most relevant part of that speech, the one that I would like to steal, quote, is this. Don't feel guilty if you don't know what you want to do with your life. The most interesting people I know didn't know at 22 what they wanted to do with their lives. Some of the most interesting 40-year-olds I know still don't. In other words, be confident in the fact that you have what it takes to go somewhere nice. Don't panic if you don't have a map. I can assure you that the experiences that you have had in the last 2 years with the people who are sitting around you have given you the skills to take you a long way, whichever direction you're heading in. While his influence as a diplomat is debatable, Kofi Annan always struck me as a wise man, so I'm going to finish with some of his words. To live is to choose, but to choose well, you must know who you are and what you stand for, where you want to go and why you want to get there. I'm confident the last 2 years have given you a strong sense of who you are. Some of you will know where you want to go and why, while some of you are just getting your shoes on. It doesn't matter. Even in the short time that I've been here with you, I'm confident that you leave with the skills to start your journey and that you take with you a strong sense of what you can achieve. This is the time that you really become a part of the UWC movement and live the values. I look forward to meeting you and hearing from you all in the future, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, not because of the car that you bought, although I do accept lifts in flash cars, but more importantly because of the things that you are doing. Those are the stories that you should be bringing back, and those are the interesting things that you bring back, and those are the things that you will enjoy in the years to come. It's been a real pleasure and a privilege getting to know you over the course of this year, and I know that I speak for all of your teachers in wishing you every success in your exams and the future. Enjoy your evening.